Hello and welcome to this presentation on long-term care done by me just for your benefit. We begin by discussing the six activities of daily living that are considered essential for a person to be able to do on their own. And if they cannot do any two of these six activities of daily living on their own, then they are considered eligible for long term care. All we need is a certificate from a doctor saying so. So, what are the six activities? Dressing, transferring, moving about, toileting, bathing, eating, and continence. Now, let's just again discuss what are the criteria, what are the conditions, right? So, care of a person who meets either of these two conditions, unable to perform two out of six activities of daily living for 90 days or more, or diagnosed with a severe cognitive impairment such as Alzheimer's or dementia. And here we are showing you the difference between the chronic care rider, which is an add-on rider to your life insurance policy, versus the long-term care products created exclusively for long-term care. The chronic care rider is a rider that can be added on to your whole life, value whole life, custom whole life, employees whole life, or a custom guarantee universal life. The amount of benefits payable to the policy owner will depend on the amount of life insurance coverage elected by the policy owner. Benefits can be used to offset the cost of care, needs, or for any other purpose, but they will reduce the death benefit amount that beneficiaries will receive. And the benefits that will be paid to the policy owner do not have to provide any receipts to New York Life. Is once they become eligible for the chronic care, they start getting the money from New York Life until the money runs out. And generally, it is given in terms like 50 months, 100 months, or like 24 months. So you pick a number, whatever is suitable to you, and accordingly we give you the benefits. That is the chronic care. In the long term care, we have different products like Asset Flex, which is offered in all states except California and New York. Then we have the Asset Preserver, which is offered only in California and New York. And we have hybrid products that offer both long term care and life insurance, which are the New York Life Secure Care and the New York Life My Care, which are both long term care only. So for LTC, long term care select premier, which is available in California only, or the NYL Secure Care and My Care benefit levels, the total benefit amount generally is decided at the time of purchase without regard to a life insurance face amount or a remainder death benefit to the beneficiaries. Long term care products normally require the benefit to be used only to pay for long term care services and does not have a death benefit component unless it is a hybrid policy which offers both life and long term care. Finally, LTC products are subject to expense reimbursement, meaning the policy owner has to provide receipts for long term care services provided before any payments will be made. So let's see how we can identify who would be good prospects for long-term care products. Very first category, people ages 45 to 65 that appear healthy. Generally, younger people are healthier and more likely to be approved for coverage. People engage in financial or retirement planning. They are the people who are focused on having financial peace of mind in retirement. Personal experience with an extended care event. They have seen the impact of a care event and know the value of planning ahead. People with liquid assets of 100,000 plus and annual income of 75,000 plus. They can afford long term care insurance and the linked benefit solutions. Affluent, high net worth people who believe they can self insure. They want to use their assets and portfolio efficiently. Business owners, they may be interested in tax benefits of long-term care solutions in the workplace. Also, people who own a disability policy may need additional benefits that the disability policy does not cover. People with just in case money sitting on the sidelines. Savvy investors look to use their money effectively. And people who have had a life policy issued in the last 5 months, these policyholders could have a much shorter underwriting period since New York Life has already acquired their medical records. People who enjoy having peace of mind about the future. We all want to enter retirement knowing that our family is taken care of financially. Providing care takes a toll on family members. Did you know that the average age of a caregiver is 46 years old? 75% of all caregivers are uncompensated female family members. The average number of hours of care provided weekly by family caregivers is 24 hours plus. And please note, it would cost a 50-year-old female preferred $85 a day for 2 years after the 90-day elimination period, or $2 per day for a $2,500 benefit. And we'll discuss that more later. So that's right. LTC products are subject to expense reimbursement, meaning the policy owner must provide receipts for long-term care service in order for benefits to be paid. We already discussed the products that are available, and we will discuss that in person. So if you want more information about our products, give me a call. My name is Sailesh Mehta, and I'll be happy to give you that information. This is called the 4-box talk, where we define who is going to be your caregiver, where the care is going to be given, how you're going to pay for this care, and finally, what New York Life has to offer. So first of all, who? So long-term care is not only about an individual, but their family. How will a long-term care event be handled in the family? Who needs the long-term care? And who will the caregiver be? And who will organize and plan the care? These are the questions you should be asking yourself today. So who would take care of you? If you say that a family member is going to take care of you, well, have you discussed this with the family member? Does the family member know that you plan to make them your caregiver? If not, you need to have this discussion with them today, because you shouldn't assume that somebody is automatically going to take care of you if they are not even aware that that's what you want them to do. What impact would needing long-term care have on your caregiver, on the rest of your family? How is it going to impact them? How is it going to affect their day-to-day lives? How is it going to affect their careers? How is it going to affect their long-term and their retirement goals, etc.? So would the time needed to take care of you be distributed evenly across your family members? How do you know? You got to ask them, right? Don't just assume, ask. And do you know anyone who has needed care? Have you seen them and how they were able to get the care that they needed? Who gave them the care? How was the care given? How much did it cost? Where was the care given? You need to answer all these questions. Why? Because that experience can help you decide how, or rather who, should be appointed as your caregiver. So once you decide on who is going to take care of you, who your caregiver is going to be, now you got to decide where the options are, where you can get your long-term care. And here are your options. So long-term care can be given either at home, or in an assisted facility, or in a nursing home. That's it. These are the three choices. So you got to determine where you prefer to get your long-term care. And generally speaking, everybody wants care at home, but how many can afford it? And if you do want care at home, how are you going to pay for it? Who is going to take care? Who is going to be in charge? Right? Okay. Just so you know, the nursing home costs continue to skyrocket, and here is the average cost in New Jersey. I'm not saying this. This is straight from this article from NJ.com. And I encourage you to go and check it out. This article is saying, not me, the average cost of a semi-private, means it's not a private room, there's somebody else in the room besides you, is 10,646 per month or 127,752 per year in 2019. We are in 2020 June, a year later, and I can tell you one thing: the cost has gone up, not down. Okay, the cost of long-term care in nursing home is just going in one direction, and that is up. If you want a private room, the cost can be all the way up to 150,000. And nationally, a private room average is about $100,000 a year. But like it says, costs are expected to skyrocket, with the average annual price tag reaching a projected 120,000 by 2028 and 135,000 for a private room. This is nationally across all states. And prices in the state in New Jersey went up 6% from 2016 to 2018 for a semi-private room, and there was a 11% for a private room. So you also need to know, a lot of you will say, hey, I don't need to worry, I'll let Medicaid take care of it. Well, guess what? Medicaid pays for the cost of nursing home care in New Jersey, provided you meet certain financial health criteria. You can read up about it. I'm not going to go into the details, just go through it. But what I want to highlight is that the cost of the most expensive nursing home in New Jersey is $475 per day. And this was 2018, not today, okay? And the minimum is $225 per day. This gives you the range, okay? Also very important, nursing homes are currently 83.4% full, meaning there are very few beds available, just so you're aware of it. These are the limits on the Medicaid. I would strongly recommend you go through all the limits, okay? People say, oh, I'll go on Medicaid. Well, guess what? Here are the things you need to first of all be aware of before you can go on Medicaid. Everybody cannot go on Medicaid. There is a lot of rules and regulations. Please be aware of what they are. If you want more time to study this, I recommend you go to the website and look it up and do your own studies. They also update this from time to time. So make sure you have the latest numbers. Okay, please go to these websites. The links are right there. You can click on the link and go there. Now, how are you going to pay for your long-term care? We all know that the average cost of care is $100,000 per year. How many years are you likely to need this care? So the answer, the duration and level of long-term care will vary from person to person and often change over time. Here are some statistics. All are on average and it may not apply to you. So someone turning age 65 today has almost a 70% chance of needing some type of long-term care and support in their remaining years. Women need care longer. That is why the cost of long-term care for women is more than it is for men. So on an average, women may need 4 years of care versus 2 years for men. And 1/3 of today's 65-year-olds may never need long-term support, but 20% will need it for longer than 5 years. Now, how will you pay for your care? What assets will you use? And what are your current assets? So, which assets would you use to pay? How much guaranteed income do you expect in retirement? Where are your current assets? What are the potential tax liquidity consequences that may arise if you use those assets? Means if your money is in a 401k or in any kind of IRA, etc., do you have access to it? Can you pull it out without penalties? If you do pull it out, what about the tax situation? Do you have to pay tax on it? And if you do have to pay tax on it, then what is the net proceeds? What will you actually get out of it? If the money is sitting in stocks or mutual funds, what are the effects of pulling it out prematurely? So do you know how much long-term care services cost in your area? You now know that in New Jersey state, the minimum in a nursing home is 225 a day, maximum is like 500 a day. So you can do the math. And then the Medicare will take care of you only up to the first 100 days, where it pays you 100% for the first 20 days, and then it pays you about 80% from day 21 to day 100, and then nothing. So after day 100, all the cost of long-term care is coming from where? From you, from your pocket, right? Either from your long-term care policies or from your pocket. So please make sure you understand what Medicare and Medicaid can and cannot do for you. So ask yourself these 4 questions. Who is going to take care of you? Where you want the care? How much it's going to cost? At home, it is going to be 3 to 6,000 per month. Assisted living, 4,000. And nursing home, as you know, this is a very old figure. It's more than 10,000, not 7. And what Medicare can give, what Medicaid can offer, and the rest is coming from you. So once again, go through the 4 questions. Now, here are the next I'm going to cover the normal objections that we hear from people who say, I don't need long-term care. So here's the first one. I'm too young. I'll wait until I'm 65. Well, guess what? You may not qualify for long-term care if you have certain kind of pre-existing conditions. So it's important to plan for your long-term care needs while you are young and healthy. Changes in your health can significantly affect your ability to buy a policy. Also, premiums will increase each year that you get older, and you can end up paying much more annually as well as cumulative if you wait. It's also important to remember that a need for long-term care can occur at any age, not just after 65. Here's another one. Long-term care is too expensive. Well, you worked hard to establish a lifestyle, and long-term care insurance can help you preserve it. Long-term care insurance costs only a fraction of what it would cost you if you had to pay for it out of your pocket. And here are some examples of how much it can be. It's very, very affordable. You got to speak to me and I'll explain to you what the cost can be. And we have a plan for everyone, for every pocket. So, it's like everybody can afford long-term care if you plan for it. Here's another. My family will take care of me. Great. Have you talked to your family? Do they even know that you're planning to have them take care of you? Right? So my question to you is what you want for them. Caregiving can be physically, emotionally, socially, and financially challenging. Someone may need to be available to provide care for as much as 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Can you really expect your family to address that need? What is it going to do to their careers? What is it going to do to their long-term plans? How is it going to affect their, the people that were other people in the family, like their children who might be dependent on them, or their spouses, or their jobs, their careers? You have to think of everything. Okay. Long-term care insurance is just for nursing homes. That is totally incorrect. As we already pointed out, long-term care you can receive at home or in an assisted living or in a nursing home. All options are available to you, right? I have enough money to pay for my care. Well, sure you do, but do you know how much it's going to cost? And once you know how much it's going to cost, well, if you have to pay from your pocket, will it affect your standard of living? Will it affect your retirement? Will it affect the family? Because it could be money that your family is also going to benefit from. So think about it. A typical long-term care for men is 2 to 3 years average, and for women it's 4 to 6 years. And the average cost in New Jersey is about 120,000 a year. So if you're talking about a couple, guess what? 120,000 a year for 7 years for a married couple could be what? A lot of money, right? It's 125 into 7. That's, you can do the math. It's like $900,000. That's a lot of money. Oh, most people say the government will take care of me. Well, Medicare will only cover you for the first 100 days. And that too, there's a co-payment after the first 20 days. Okay? And there are conditions you have to meet for them to continue providing for you even during that time. And Medicare will only pay as long as you're showing progress towards recovery. I don't think it'll happen to me. Well, we do. Whoever wants to go in for long-term care? Nobody. But reality is what? Majority of people turning age 65 and over are going to need long-term care. I'm not saying this. Statistics are saying this. And look around you, look around the families, look around everybody and see who are the people who need long-term care and how long they need it. So, in summary, I want to provide you with the best possible guidance to help solve this risk. But no one can truly do that without knowing your health. So I would like to sit down with you, discuss everything with you, and when you're ready, fill out an application so we can do a diagnosis on your health and find out whether or not you are approvable. Because guess what? Everybody that wants long-term care may not be approved, may not be eligible for long-term care. So the first thing you have to do is make sure you are approvable and then decide what exactly options you need. So give me a call. My name is Sailesh Mehta and my number is 917-514-1862 or my email address is smehta07@ft.newyorklife.com. Looking forward to talking to you. One very important point, AARP has approved only New York Life to offer long-term care options to their members. Okay, AARP has only approved New York Life Insurance Company to offer long-term care options to their members. Thank you. Look forward to sitting down with you and discussing your needs for long-term care. Thank you again.